Okay, so let's do this tutorial. I'm using Silhouette Studio. You can use whatever software you want to make your SVG files. I'm choosing Silhouette Studio because that's what I've used for years and I'm comfortable with it. So you have your design. All of your colors are grouped together by their colors. We are going to pick a whatever name you're putting on it. Oops. And then choose your font. Keep in mind that when you are picking your font, for me, I print the name on a separate plate because I wanted more than just 4 colors on my design. So I am choosing any font that, like, fancy, whatever. It doesn't really matter with this because it's going to be printed on a separate plate. So once you pick your font, you're going to line it up on your design where you want it. And I'm not being precise, I'm just doing it. Once you have that, you're going to add an offset to your name. The offset that I choose is 3. You can do whatever matches the outline of the design that you're working on. For me, 3 looks pretty good. Once you get your outline, you're going to select it, and in Silhouette Studio, I just click send it to the back so that it's in the very back. Now we need to add the black base to it so that we have the part that fits into the stand. So you are going to line it up where you think it looks good. I'm trying to get it right on the edge of the letters. Don't mind the gaps, we'll fix those. So this one, we're also going to send it to the back, and we're going to hit Shift. I'm on a Mac, I don't know, it could be different on Windows, and we're going to select all of the black parts. We are going to weld those together, and then I am going to release compound path to hide the little gaps that were in there. We're going to click again and weld. So once you're here, you have all of the stuff that you need to start exporting for your SVGs. You are going to export every single color as its own SVG. I will do that and be right back. Okay, so all of our SVGs have been exported. You're going to open Tinkercad, you're going to hit import, and you're going to choose each one of your files. For the base, I choose 5 millimeters for my thickness. Again, you can pick whatever you want, whatever suits your needs, but that's what I choose. That's what has seemed to do really good. We're going to turn up the quality all the way. And then, like I said, I'm going to choose thickness of 5. Now we're going to import our next item. And for the rest of these, I choose to raise them up so that they are different heights, so it gives a little bit of dimension to the design. You can play around with it and do whatever you like as far as how the look goes. Again, this is all about what you like and how it looks for you. But I am going to turn the quality up. I'm going to make this a 3, and then we are going to raise it up 2.5. So you can still see it, and then the other things will raise different heights to give it a little bit more texture. So now we're going to bring in, let's say, the sunflowers. I want them a little taller, so I'm going to raise them up a little bit higher. But you don't want to go any taller than 3. So let's change the color. We're going to change the quality. Again, we're going to make the thickness 3. Obviously, it disappears down in because the base is 5. And we're going to raise this up to 2.75. It'll be higher than the brown part of the cow to give it a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the rest of the SVGs and get them set before we move on to the next step. Okay, so I have all of them brought in, and as you can see, they all are like different texture layer heights, which is what I wanted. Okay, so in order to be able to print the Anthony and the horns on a separate plate, we have to cut them out of, Anthony has to be cut out of all of these colors. So we click on it, then we're going to click duplicate, then we're going to hide that duplicate, and then click on the name again, turn it to a whole, hold shift, and we're going to select one of the colors. For this one, I'm going to do the bear or the cow. It takes a second to cut it out. Okay, once it's cut out, you're going to unhide and do the same thing. So you need to click on Anthony again. You're going to duplicate it again. You're going to hide that duplicate. You're going to turn Anthony to a whole. And for this time, we're going to hit shift and select the sunflowers and do the same thing. We're going to cut it out of the sunflower. I'm going to go do the rest of Anthony, and then I'm also going to do the same thing for the horns. The horns only need to be cut out of the black background on this because that's the only thing they're touching. I'll do that and be right back. Okay, so as you can see now, if I click on Anthony and hide it, it's been cut out of all of the colors. The same thing with the horns. If you hide it, the horns, you'll be able to see that they are cut out of just the black. Okay, so now we are going to select everything and we're going to stand it on the plate. Once it's vertical, you're going to hit D to drop it down to the build plate. We're going to zoom out. Let's tilt it a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to grab this shape. We are going to rotate. We're going to make this shape the same length as the black base that's down there. Turn it, and you can do it whatever height you want, whatever. I want to do it right below before it cuts out of the bottom of Anthony, so move it forward. I'm going to turn off this so it stops bumping it so much. As soon as you see the black come through, you want to stop moving because you just want it on. Okay, so that's lined up centered there. Same thing on the other side. You want to pull it to the edge, just till it's to the edge. Once you get it where you want it, you're going to select the black. You're going to duplicate the black. You're going to hide that duplicate. Select the black again, turn it to a whole, shift, select the bottom, and you're going to group. This will do the cutout in, oh, wait. Oh, we forgot to do something. Hold on. We need to raise that thing up off our design. We need to raise off the build plate. Because if you do it like that, it's going to cut into the base. And then it will be 2 pieces down there. So this we're going to raise up to 2. 2 seems to work just fine. So now when you zoom in, it's not touching the bottom down there. So we're gonna, hold on, let me duplicate and do that again. Okay, so now if you hide this, turn it to a whole, you can see it has been cut out. Okay, I would select Anthony, export it as its own file, the ears exported as the own file, and the base exports as its own file. And then the rest of it, you would highlight all of those and export and bring it into Bamboo Studio. Once in Bamboo Studio, put them on their plates, color your thing. I put the name and the horns face down so the texture's on the front, and that's it.